But the thing is about the poodle lady, what I was getting to like a moment ago, is that, like, yes, yeah, the poodle's doing the work for her. But this reminded me of a thing that irritates me in Mystery Men. And this is gonna grind your gears.
I'm
Dave.
listening. It's fine. I'm not.
No, but the thing is, because I'm a big fan of Janeane Garofalo, right? And I've always liked her. Like, I've watched The Truth About Cats and Dogs multiple times just because she's in it. And so when I was a kid, even, I always liked her then. When she showed up at Mystery Man, I was like, oh, that's great. And she's the only female member of the team. She's only, well, beyond, was Claire Florani. She's the only real woman in the movie, frankly. But then, so she comes in, she's got this bowling ball that's inhabited by the spirit of her father. It's been a while since I've seen it, that's the character, right? And so you kind of like, oh, at least she's throwing the ball. But as the film goes on, as I recall, it's like, it's indicated that the ball can move about by itself anyway. So it's kind of like, why she's kind of like almost like a useless character. She's just sort of there to have little squabbles with a ball that could be just doing the stuff whether she was there or not. I kind of always felt it robbed her a bit of like importance and agency, where it's just like, yeah, we've got one woman here on the team and she doesn't even really need to be here because the guy who's actually doing the stuff is the soul of her father. And it always bugged me when I was a kid until I watched it in more recent years. I was like, yeah, I just wish that they'd employed it more. That we're like, no, they're more of a unit. Where it seems to be the film's indicating, it's like, no, she throws the ball, but the ball could throw itself anyway if it wanted to.
That's true. Or is there a connection in there that we're not thinking of? Is there some kind of psychic?
I think it's that's the only reason I say is because I think really she has to kind of commune with the ball, because I get what you're saying. Like, why wouldn't Carmine, the first time she put the fact that she was the one who got the guy at the pro shop to put the skull in the ball means that her father must have is in her. Like, she might let's think, right? Let's think it's after her father's death. She's grieving. She hears him talking, and so she now she looks crazy because she's talking to herself, but really she's talking to her father's spirit, his ghost or something, maybe in her own self. And it's telling her, like, we need to get vengeance, we do this. She's like, well, I wanted to work on, night class. I wanted to go back to law school. He's like, no, we need to bring vengeance against the disco boys and stuff. And so I'm going to say you're kind of unlocking plot that I never really thought about, but it could be that. Whereas she essentially had to either dig up his body, she got to get his skull, and then she held, and he told her what we need to do, and then she gets them to put the skull in the ball, and yeah, maybe it's like a psychic thing, like through her into the ball. It's his skull, but maybe through her spirit, cause, like she opens the bag, but then she lifts the ball and holds it in front of her, and then he floats up, and then he flies off to take out Tony later. It's like she needs to kind of be needs to give that first push to, because you're right. She would have put the skull in the ball. He would have floated away, killed the guy, and that would have been the end of the story. And also it could be the fact that maybe the catalyst was Tony back in town too. Like, she could have been minding her business, but maybe when Tony came back into town, she had the haunting of her father coming back. Like, he's back in town. We need to act on this.
Well.
I'm not saying it makes it may clear anything up for you. I never really held it against the bowler about her. I love the fact that now we have a spiritual aspect to the film. I never went, well, ghosts. I enjoy because we have a mix of a whole bunch of things in that film, of talent, spirit. I don't know what else we got. We got it all. We got it all, Mystery Men.
But that was always a thing that irked me somewhat way back when. It's not that I don't think like Mystery Men falls apart because of that or anything, but it was always just a thing of like, it was always slightly bugged me. That it just seemed like she was very the importance of her part in that team seems to be quite undermined just because of that. And it's just like, that was one of the thing that had I been there, had I been in charge of Mystery Men, I would have tweaked. But yeah, I mean, you're making your way through the movie 5 minutes at a time. Maybe by the time you're at the end, you're like, no, we've solved that problem completely. It's 100% okay.